Hi everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 5 of A Tangled Web. Yes, today I'm going to give you my retrospective review of the movie The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So let's get into it. Okay, so if it's your first time here, I have been reviewing these movies daily. This is obviously the 5th review, leading up to the release of the new Spider-Man film in cinemas. Yes, so I will be doing a ranking as well. So if you are new and you haven't watched any of these and you haven't subscribed yet, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving me a comment, all that sort of stuff. So today, like I said, I'm going to be talking about The Amazing Spider-Man 2 that I've just finished watching. Now, interestingly, this is the only Spider-Man film that I don't have on 4K, nor do I wish to upgrade. Let's find out why. So here in the UK, this film was released on April the 16th of 2014. It had a 12A rating with a runtime of 2 hours and 22 minutes. This film was again directed by Mark Webb, the aptly named Mark Webb, who had directed The Amazing Spider-Man 1 just a couple of years prior, with a story from Alex Kurtzman, Roberto Orci and Jeff Pinkner. Yes, so starring in this film, Andrew Garfield, he returned as Peter Parker, Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy, Jamie Foxx plays Electro, Paul Giamatti plays Alexei Sistovich, aka the Rhino, although it's in a very minor role, sort of bookending the film. Dane DeHaan plays Harry Osborn, aka the Goblin, Green Goblin. Felicity Jones is in a small role as Felicia Hardy, who in the comics would become the Black Cat. And Sally Field returns as Aunt May. Now, this film had a budget of $200 million and went on to earn a whopping $708 million at the worldwide box office. So fantastic. So, as for the story for this film, so this film picks up pretty much not long after the events of the first Spider-Man movie. It opens with a flashback yet again of Peter Parker's parents and essentially what happened to them after they left him at the house in the first film. It's all set on board a plane. There's a bit of mystery over him as a scientist and what he'd done with the spiders. And ultimately it looks like they die in a plane crash. Yeah, and cut forward to present day. Spider-Man swinging through the city. Paul Giamatti's Alexei as robbed an armoured car. He's after him, blah, 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 blah. He catches up with them. We're then introduced to Electro, who, well, Max, as his name is. Bit of a loner, simple guy, no friends, this sort of thing. Peter Parker's dealing with his anxiety over dating Gwen Stacy after promising her father on his deathbed that he would leave her alone, this sort of thing. As the story progresses, he breaks up with her, gets back together with her, meets up with Harry Osborn, Jamie Foxx gets turned into Electro, all this sort of stuff is going on. You know the film, you know the story. It's quite a busy film, actually, quite a lot going on. Towards the end, obviously he beats Electro. In the process, Gwen Stacy gets killed, which harks back to what her father was saying to him. And then he faces off against the Rhino at the end, and it sort of ends sort of mid-action scene. Yeah. And that's it. That's it for this series, over and done with, because people weren't happy. Yes, and understandably so. Now, this is a retrospective review, so I wouldn't be saying the things I'm saying now had I been reviewing this film at the time that it was released. Yeah, so like I said, I put this film in, I settled back to watch it because I've been watching all the others, and from the very get-go of the film with this scene with the parents, I was like, this is pointless. This film has been made redundant by the fact that this storyline is never going to go anywhere. The storyline hasn't gone anywhere. We're not going to get a conclusion to the story of Peter's parents. Not that we needed one anyway. Not that we needed a story revolving around his parents. Like I said in my last review, why couldn't it just be kept simplistic? He's with Aunt May and Uncle Ben. That's how everyone knows it. No one's really ever questioned what happened to his parents before. They've just taken it as granted. But here's a kid who lives with his aunt and uncle for whatever the reason may be. So there's your initial problem with the film there. When we're introduced to Jamie Foxx, who's a fantastic actor, he comes across as the Jim Carrey character in Batman Forever. It's like they're sort of repeating that kind of a thing. You get Dane DeHaan introduced in the film. Now, Christ, he's boring. He's an awful actor. There's nothing interesting about him whatsoever. So his scenes are all pretty poor. So I'm watching this film all the way through and I'm thinking, this film could be edited down from 2 hours and 20 minutes. You take out the subplot with the parents. That's not needed. You take out... the Harry Osborn stuff could have been removed. It's just... this film, at this point, was trying to create what Marvel had. Sony wanted what Marvel had, and this film was made by mandate. It's all over it. Sony, we want this. So this film is going to be used to build this world, to build the Sinister Six with all these little cameos and flashes here and there and stuff like this. This is what we want. This is what you're going to do. So this film is a mess from beginning to end, and it has no worth on a rewatch in a narrative sense, because you never get a conclusion to where you're going to go. You never get that. So it makes it a very, very difficult watch in that, you know, in that manner. Now, I'm not saying that there's no positives within this film. I can pluck out several positives. Mark Webb's directing is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Andrew Garfield, stand out. Him and Emma Stone, when they're on screen together, the chemistry shines. Even when Andrew Garfield is on his own, he's such a fantastic actor. You know, his portrayal of Peter Parker, the little quirks, the facial mannerisms, all this sort of stuff. The fact that as Peter Parker, when he's doing a scene, he will use his environment. You know, like the climbing over of the fence at the side of the riverside, and when he's talking to Gwen, the sort of shyness that comes out in him when he's hiding behind a tree from her. You know, his environment is used. He's a fantastic actor, and he's using everything he has in this film. Now, I did say Dane DeHaan is a very boring actor, and he is, but his scenes with Andrew Garfield are wonderful, and this is because of Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield just elevates DeHaan in this. You know, whoever Andrew Garfield's with on screen, he will elevate their performance. That's how good an actor he is. And so all the scenes with DeHaan are fantastic because of Andrew Garfield and what he's doing, and it raises him. But then you compare them scenes to the scene with DeHaan when he's on his own, and it's just very lackluster and monotone. And yeah, so you know, you could see it. Now, the look of the Green Goblin was awful. Yeah, you know, like I said, it's too busy a film. You're introducing Felicity Jones, who would later become the Black Cat. It's just so much going on, and it even shows in the musical score for the film. All right, Hans Zimmer, his initial tune was reused, but you've got 7 people listed on IMDb in the music credits for this film. That's how busy this film is. So, beyond watching Andrew Garfield and his performance, it's such a frustrating film, right? Because it goes nowhere. It leads to nothing because of what happened after and the cancellation of this Spider-Man series. So it's frustrating in that respect. But some of the performances in it are top notch. They are wonderful. Like I said, Emma Stone, Andrew Garfield. Their scenes are so great to watch when they're together, when they're not together. They're both fantastic in this film. So it's such a shame that on the one hand, this is a film that goes nowhere, but yet you've got these fabulous performances just in there, and with fabulous performance for surrounded by crap. It's really is a shame. It's yeah. I went into this film quite. I wasn't looking forward to rewatching it. And yeah, I don't think this is a film I could ever revisit again. I'll be honest. After this rewatch, yeah, it's easily the worst Spider-Man film done, but the acting in it surpasses Tobey Maguire's acting and this sort of a thing. There's these such quality stuff within there with these quality stars, and really is frustrating. Okay, props to it for giving us the Gwen Stacy death finally at some point on screen, because Gwen Stacy was just mucked up in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3, so that was fantastic to get. It's just a shame again we didn't see the effects of that afterwards, and the effect that it had on the character of Peter Parker, but that's life. Luckily we got the Spider-Man that we get now when Marvel stepped in and took the reins, so to speak. So yeah, so that was episode 5 of a Tangled Web, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, in the next episode tomorrow, I will be looking at the animated Into the Spider-Verse, so then I can get into the trilogy back to back of the MCU Spider-Man trilogy, with my reviews of the first 2 films, culminating in a review of Spider-Man No Way Home. Anyway, this is AJ. Thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and notification bell and all that, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.